Hey, I'm Carl. Welcome to the Renko Trading channel where we explore experimental and educational trading strategies using Renko charts. Today, I'll show you how to pair Renko with the Supertrend indicator to detect trend shifts. Supertrend is a volatility-based trend indicator. It plots above or below price to suggest direction, green for uptrend, red for downtrend. Unlike traditional moving averages, it reacts faster to price shifts by adjusting to volatility in real time. In this example, I'm using the default settings, a 10-period ATR and a multiplier of 3. That builds a volatility buffer around price, and when price closes beyond that buffer, Supertrend flips, giving us a potential trend signal. Let's apply the Supertrend indicator to a Renko chart inside TradingView. First, I'm using an ATR-based Renko chart on Apple with a brick size set to ATR 14. You can use your preferred setting here. Now I'll add the Supertrend indicator from TradingView's built-in library. Just search for Supertrend and select the one by TradingView. The default settings are ATR period 10 and multiplier 3. You'll see the Supertrend line flip from red to green as uptrends begin, and back to red when the trend weakens. On Renko charts, these flips tend to align cleanly with major swings, helping us confirm trend direction without extra noise. There are 2 buy signals on this chart, and I've also applied a simple long-only strategy script using Supertrend. The idea is, buy on the brick after Supertrend flips green, and sell after it turns red. Now, keep in mind, Renko charts aren't time-based. That means the strategy tester can't give us exact entry or exit prices. So the results are just approximations. Let's walk through the first trade visually. Supertrend flips green on July 7, 2021. We'll assume an entry the next day, somewhere just above that brick. Then we follow the chart forward. Supertrend turns red on June 12, 2022. So we'd exit around that next brick, above or below it depending on real-world conditions. That gives us a profit-loss range of 0% to -7%, depending on how we exited. But at one point, this trade was up about 16%. The strategy tester reports it as a flat trade, 0% gain. Now for the second trade. The buy signal comes on June 12, 2023. Again, assume we get in slightly above the next brick. Supertrend flips red on April 4, 2025, almost 2 years later. This trade ends with a 6% to 34% profit range, depending on execution in real life and exit strategies. The tester shows it as an 11% gain. So visually, we're seeing a possible range between -1% and +50% combined for both trades, depending on when you decide to exit, rather than waiting for the signal to flip. That's the nature of using Renko with a confirmation-based trend system. Let's do the same visual walkthrough on Microsoft. There were 2 Supertrend buy signals here as well. The first long signal came on July 1, 2020, and Supertrend stayed green until March 8, 2022. That's a strong trend, lasting over a year and a half. Depending on where you actually exited, this trade could have returned anywhere from 40% to 60%. The second buy happened on April 6, 2023, and lasted until March 31, 2025. This trade ranges from about 25% to 50% profit, depending on how you exited. Put together, the total gain from both trades is somewhere between 65% and 110%. The TradingView strategy tester shows a combined estimate of about 95% profit. Again, these are visual approximations. Since Renko charts aren't time-based, the strategy tester can't give perfect entries or exits. But it gives us a rough idea, and we can clearly see the potential. Let's look at one more example, waste management. This is a textbook example of Supertrend keeping us in a long-term trend with zero signal noise. On September 14, 2020, Supertrend flipped green and it hasn't turned red since. That's over 4 years of staying in trend with a single signal. This is exactly what Renko and Supertrend are built to do: reduce noise, avoid overtrading, and keep us on the right side of the move. That's the strength of combining Renko with Supertrend. It filters the noise and keeps you focused on direction, not guesswork. This isn't a complete trading system, but it's a powerful foundation to build on. You can combine it with your own filters, or even just use it to stay on the right side of a move. If this video helped you, give it a like, and consider subscribing for more Renko strategy breakdowns. That's a wrap on today's breakdown. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like and hit subscribe for more Renko trading insights. Don't forget the bell icon, and I'll see you in the next one.